first saw you this time at Waltz,
Hi.
I was hoping to show you that I was your father. You showed me I was.
How can you have two fathers? Just lucky, I guess.
I could never heal up what happened. I can't even hardly remember what happened. It's like a gap.
Have you seen Jane or talked to her? We thought you were dead, boy.
How long have I been gone, do you know?
4 years.
Is 4 years a long time?
It is for a little boy.
There will be no safety zone. I can guarantee you the safety zone will be eliminated.
What's out there?
I gotta go away now,
Why?
because I'm gonna find her.
How's it going?
I want to find her too.
I knew these people. They were in love with each other.
She's leaving the bank.
He was kind of raggedy and wild. She was very beautiful, you know? And he loved her more than he ever felt possible.
The winner of the Golden Palm at the Cannes Film Festival and one of the most acclaimed films of the decade.
Harry Dean Stanton, Nastasia Kinski, Dean Stockwell, Aurore Clement, and introducing Hunter Carson.
Paris, Texas.
Is there something, I don't know, is there something I can do for you?
Paris, Texas.
Hello. So that was the Criterion Collection trailer for Paris, Texas, which is our movie night movie for this month. Welcome in, everybody. It is me. I am here. I couldn't get my hair to do whatever Natasha Klinsky's hair is doing in that movie. I also do not own the pink fluffy mohair dress that she wears, unfortunately. I'm so sorry. So yeah. Hey guys. Hey Lipro. Hey Dakota. Hey Killer Bees. Hey, yeah, sure, I'm down for that. Welcome in. It's a Let's Talk About Movie Night stream. So we're going to talk about Paris, Texas. I genuinely don't know what you guys think of it. So a few people turned up on the Discord to watch it with me. I know that people were getting impatient. I know you were getting impatient. It's a slow burn movie. In all senses of the word. It's 2-hour 20 movie. Thank you for the compliment, by the way. I'm wearing Santa earrings. It's a 2-hour 20 movie from 1984, directed by Wim Wenders, who is a German director. Full name, I think it's like his full name is Ernst Wilhelm Wenders. Just in case you were thinking that it was a strange name. So the Wim is from the Wilhelm. You watched it again yesterday. Well, there you go. It sticks with you, doesn't it? It's right under your skin. That's actually really nice to know. It's it is a one, I think. So what happened was I watched it. Gosh, when was the first time I watched it? I watched it the first time in 19. So gosh, 6 years ago. And then I gave it like 4 stars, and I just said it's 1984. Yeah, I watched it in 1984. And then I just remember saying, that's just a lot. That's a lot to take in. That's a lot to process. And I kept thinking about it. And I gave it 4 stars because I just didn't know what to make of it. But it always kind of stuck with me. Yeah, I think that's it. You have to stick with it. And yeah, so I gave it like 4 stars, and I was a bit like, I'm not sure what to make of that. And I just kind of left it. But then for years afterwards, I'd always say to people, it's a really good movie. It's a good recommendation. They don't speak French in Paris, Texas. It's the closest thing to a running gag in the movie that the main character's dad would say that his mother was from Paris, Texas, and he would say Paris, and then he'd pause, and then let everyone think that she was from Paris and very fancy, and then add Texas afterwards as kind of like a punchline. And he mentions his mum a couple of times, the main character. He mentions that his mother wasn't a classy lady, let's say, and his dad didn't think much of her and would make these kind of disparaging jokes about the mother of his children. But yeah, so yeah, I think it is, yeah, like we've said, the movie's 2 hours and 2 and a bit hours long, and it builds to a point where everything that you've learned about the characters comes to a head, and the lovely lady Natasha Klinsky on my, I'm gonna say right, but I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. It's probably not left. Yeah. The main characters are stage right, yes. So the main characters are Travis and Jane, and we learn. So I think the thing that kind of happens throughout the movie is that as you're watching it asks a lot of questions from you. I recall somebody wrote a review like ages ago and thought, because the titles are like red, like on a black background, that they thought was a horror movie. For like the first like half hour or so, they thought like that the main character Travis, played by Harry Dean Stanton, was like a serial killer or something. Like they thought he was running away because he'd like murdered a load of people. It doesn't tell you shit for a really long time. And it's a really gradual, slow burn. Yeah, and the cinematography, like if somebody asked me like asked me anything about cinematography, I would say this movie is like my favorite example of cinematography in cinema. Like that's because it's not just the story that stays with you and slow burn and everything else, it's the visuals. And I did say at one point in the chat, like I think every frame in the movie you could just put it on the wall. Like it's beautiful. Like every frame is art. Every frame is beautiful in this movie. Like it's not often where I watch a movie and I'm just like, this is just lovely to look at. It makes Texas chew. It makes Texas look beautiful. Like, and it's in the 80s. It was shot in 1984, and it was shot on a really like small budget. Yeah, so like and it's they hold the camera really still and just keep it really still. They don't, and they like, the car will drive past or something like that. It was shot on, I'm not gonna say like a shoestring budget. It was I think the budget was like $1.5 million, which obviously nowadays like that's that's barely a budget for a movie. But it was $1.5 million, and they almost ran out of money by the end. They were like really struggling for money by the end of the movie. Yes, it's very economic shooting. They shot over like a month, I believe, and they started shooting without finishing the script. So they shot. It was all very like very indie, very like they were just vibing. They were just feeling it. So yeah, they had a script, but they didn't have a completed script. So weirdly enough, the the last section of the movie, yeah, I mean, just for having those bed sheets, man. The kid had Return of the Jedi bed sheets. I think Wim Wenders, I'll call him Wim. I don't know if it's Vim. I don't know. I feel bad saying his name wrong. I do apologize. He did not storyboard the film, so it was his first time not doing that. He didn't have a plan. He didn't have a layout. They just kind of had, they just went to Texas and started shooting the movie. So they knew certain aspects about the characters. They also shot it, I believe, chronologically. So they shot it, and the final act, which is obviously the moment that everyone's waiting for. It was a very off the cuff, apparently, according to production. He winged it. He did. He just went for it. He went with what felt right. It was the screenwriters just came to them and suggested the location for where they find Jane at the end of the movie. It was a very last minute addition to the script, and all of the kind of like stuff that they did with the camera in those rooms and stuff, that was all very like from what I know of it, apparently it was all very I can't remember the specifics, but they pretty much ran out of money by the time they were shooting the scenes with Jane, Natasha Kinski's character, so they were just doing the absolute bare minimum. Yeah, it was great. Professorial, yeah. It's strange, and it's also obviously this movie, if you're not aware, is like regularly held up as one of the greatest movies like ever made, depending on who you're talking to. And it's always kind of like one of these instances where the Academy completely shut it out, didn't even acknowledge it, which just goes to show the Academy has never been good at nominating true art. There you go. Yeah, they just had to turn off the lights, but they just had to have him with the little lamp. But like stuff like that, like so they're in it's like a peep show with mirrors and stuff like that, and the way that they play with the mirrors and the lighting, and there's a shot where the main character's face is like superimposed over his ex-partner's face, and just shit like that. It was just so smart, and it's just one of these instances where I think they always say like any movie's a miracle, because you never expect the movie to get completed, you never expect it to get finished, but making a movie this good and making it with like the resources that they had is really incredible, because it's a movie made in 1984, and I just think for what it is, it's a timeless examination of what it is. So I guess I should probably describe the plot. I don't want to go into too many spoilers, but yeah, that is kind of like the way that his face, that is, and the blackness all around. Yeah, it's really cool. Imagery, artistry. So the movie itself is, for those who are not familiar, Paris, Texas starts with Harry Dean Stanton. He is just walking through the desert. And again, if you haven't watched the movie, please check it out. Like I say, Dakota's watched it twice this week. It's that good. So Harry Dean Stanton, great actor. Passed away not that long ago. Don't tell me it was like 10 years ago now, because that'll upset me. Harry Dean Stanton's walking through the desert. He's got a beard. He's all scraggly. He's... Oh, don't tell me. Oh, don't tell me that. Time. What is time? He died 8 years ago? Shit, man. Okay. If you don't know Harry Dean Stanton, he wears a baseball cap in Alien too. He's in the original Alien. He's the one with the baseball cap. And he is where he starts this movie wearing a baseball cap and in a really raggedy suit, and he's walking through the desert, and he is he's famous for a baseball cap. The red baseball cap. Somebody made a joke about it, a MAGA hat. He's walking through the desert. He's run out of water, so he just stumbles into the nearest house. Hey, Pampa Papadi. He's a man with no name, no horse, no name, and he just walks into the nearest building. He's trying to find water. He's gasping. He finds an ice box. He just starts chewing on ice, and the guy in the bar or whatever building it is just like, who the hell are you? And he just collapses to the floor. He wakes up and the doctor is giving him the once over. It's a German doctor. I don't know the relevance of it. And I was just like, that's not Wim Wenders. And everybody was like, of course it's not. And I was like, because he's German. And everyone's like, who? Anyway. Minor tangent there. And as it turns out, Harry Dean Stanton isn't talking. He's not talking. He's not giving up anything. And he's very raggedy. So they take his identification, which he was carrying on him. And they, interesting to note, he starts with, so he's a blank slate. That's it. So this is why somebody else, like I said, I was reading somebody else's review, and their interpretation of the first act of the movie is, who's this man? Why is he walking through the desert? Why is he not talking? What's his situation? And they genuinely thought that because of the tone, because the tone is so hard to grasp in the first act, they thought he was like a serial killer because he's got no name, he's got no identity, he's not talking. And they're like, man, he did something. So yeah, but you've got so many questions. You don't know who he is, and as I say, the movie is a slow burn. He's just walking through the desert. Anyway, they ring his brother. His brother is in LA, and he goes and he approaches his wife, who's French for some reason, and he says to his wife, they found Travis in the desert. And his wife immediately says, oh no. And then says, I think it was something like, what are we going to tell Hunter? But then that's it. And this is one of the things that I really appreciate about the movie. At no point does anybody go, what do we tell Hunter? This person of significance who is blank. I'm not going to say what the significance of Hunter is, but because that would just undermine my point, and I kind of would want to say, yeah, she was proven right. He's not a killer. But yeah, but the implication of them finding, and it turns out that he's been missing for 4 years, has Travis, our guy. So his brother takes a plane and goes to Texas and finds the place where the doctor had his brother, and his brother's walked off. So he's just driving around Texas, yeah. So there's so many clues, there's so many hints, yeah. And it does, and again, it's like you're a detective, but you're also just watching it's like a slice of life. It's like you're just watching something play out. It's not like I say, I think a lot of movies, I'm gonna say this because it really drives me mad. The one thing I hate about a movie is voiceover, because no one knows how to use voiceover. Voiceover in movies is like the dummy's guide to making a movie. Like, people use voiceover to tell you information that they can't be bothered to show you on the screen, or they don't trust that you'll be able to know without somebody explicitly telling you that information. It's a visual medium. It's not fucking radio. I don't need somebody to tell me shit. Stop telling me shit. It's the exposition. Yeah. Voiceover is used to dump exposition. And if this had been a shit movie, it would have been maybe Travis's voice saying, I've been walking through the desert for 4 years. Blah, blah, blah. No one knew my name. Blah, blah, blah. And they wouldn't trust that you could figure that out. They gradually give you details through natural conversations between characters. I mean, the Doctor is a bit of an exposition bot, but he at least kind of like seems moderately irritated by, like, he seems like a person. He's like, who's this guy who's not talking that's on my hospital? Why do I have to deal with him? And there's also a reward in it for him. So he's like, okay. I mean, he's walked off, but give me my money. So he kind of like comes across well. But he does kind of act as a kind of person who asks some questions and kind of presents a way of the brother who turns up kind of having a conversation about it. But again, if this had been a shit movie, there'd have been like, I can imagine it being really clunky. Yeah, that's it. So the Doctor, yeah, I mean, a doctor would ask these questions, and this guy's a nosy git who's drinking tequila at like God knows what time in the afternoon. It was daytime. He was just drinking tequila, and he was like, I'm gonna judge you because your brother is not talking and he's just wandering around in the desert, and he seems very arsey. So it's like, even if he is even if he is used as an exposition or a means for you to have a conversation, he's still quite funny. So I'll let her. So Travis is walking through the desert. His brother comes to get him. The Doctor tells him what's going on with Travis. Travis is mostly fine. He's just a bit raggedy. And the brother says, well, he's been missing for 4 years. And then that's what you know. And then Travis is just kind of walking along a train line, and his brother, he's walking along a road, or he's walking through the desert. Yeah, sure. I'm going to do the synopsis, like, again, we're going to kind of teeter on spoiler territory, but not just, I don't want to do spoilers just yet, because I've only been streaming for like a half hour, 20 minutes. So I will say, he's walking through the desert, he's been missing for 4 years, his brother has found him, he keeps trying to walk off, basically. His brother gets him in the car, takes him to the airport eventually, and then he doesn't want to fly. He refuses to, he causes a bit of a drama on the aeroplane, so he can't fly, so his brother has to drive him from Texas to LA, which is just an imposition, if anything. So he's a bit twitchy, he's a bit weird. He does eventually start talking. Yeah, there was another point where he's just walking on a train line. Yeah. He's just walking on a train line. And then somebody was like, oh shit, is he going to jump on a train, or is he going to get run over by a train? Or it was very, it was quite funny. But yeah, he takes him back to LA to his home. His brother takes him home to his wife and Hunter, who is his son. And his wife, his brother, Travis's brother, his name, it's going to annoy me if I don't start referring to him as his name. His brother's called Walt, and his wife is called Anne. She's French. Hunter is also played. So the interesting thing about Hunter is, I'm going to say this, the interesting thing about Hunter being, he's called Hunter in the movie, and his real life name is Hunter. And the screenwriter is his dad. Basically, is the short thing. So Wim Wenders wanted like some real, like, because he's making it in America and he wanted to make an American movie. He wanted like a genuine, like, as I'm saying this like an idiot, he wanted a genuine American man to help him write the screenplay. So he got there was 2 screenwriters, I believe, that were American. It was written by Sam Shepard, who's an American playwright, and it was adapted into a screenplay by L.M. Kit Carson. And the screenwriter who adapted the play into, or adapted the story into the screenplay was he was like, I'll do it, but you have to cast my son. And his son was with his wife. So Carson's wife at the time, what's her name? It's gonna bug me. She's like a 70s. She's a big deal. And I'm gonna say her name and you're all gonna go, I don't know who that is. Karen Black. So she was like a new Hollywood actor. She was like big deal in the 70s, and then later on in like the 80s, she, in later years, don't know who that is. Fair play. I don't think many people would. But she was an actress. That's the main thing. So she coached her kid on like remembering his lines and stuff. But she was in Easy Rider. The Karen Black, yeah. You're mocking me. She was in she's the prostitute in Easy Rider. That's the best I've got, man. That's the only one I remember her from. I'm trying to see. Anyway, after a bit, she so after a bit, when she needed money in the 80s, she starred in a bunch of horror movies, and she got like a reputation, like a cult reputation for being like a horror movie actress, even though she was like Academy, I think she got Golden Globes and Academy Award nominations for her work in the 70s, but then she needed money, so she did like a bunch of horror movies, like cheap horror movies in the 80s. And everyone just associated her with horror movies, even though she was obviously quite an elevated. That's not the point. Anyway, she was on set and she was coaching her son, and she was an Academy Award nominated actress. And his dad had written the screenplay. So that's I did say at the when the kid turns up, I did say he's the least annoying kid actor that I've seen, which is high praise. Because he's really good. He's a really natural kid. I think somebody did mention that he didn't do the angry, pissed off kid scene very well, but like, but he is really good. He's got a really natural. He's just a really cute kid. he's like 7 or 8, and he's just like, the movie genuinely would fall apart without a decent child performance, because he is like the little beating heart of the movie. And he is really cute, and he is really good and really natural. And Harry Dean Stanton is obviously brilliant, so I think that they work really well together. And there is like a scene, so basically Hunter is living with his brother and his wife, and they've raised him as his own for the past 4 years. I think he was like 3, maybe 4. I think he was 3 when he was left at the house. He just got left at their house, and he said somebody driven him here, and he was 3. And his parents are gone, so they did the right thing and they raised him as their own. And so he calls them mum and dad, and then his actual dad turns up, and they tell him that it's his actual dad, and then the kid starts to feel really anxious and is like, he feels weird about calling them mum and dad for a bit, and there is some genuine like awkwardness. It's sad. It is sad because their dad, yeah. Anyway, Harry Dean Stanton eventually starts talking. Eventually, he's still a bit kooky and a bit weird, but he eventually starts talking, and he begins to bond with his son. And ultimately, the movie kind of has them go on a journey to find his mum. So that's the movie. That's the plot of the movie. I think that's about as much as I would be willing to say at this point. And again, if you've not seen the movie, please check it out because it's really good. It's one of the greatest movies ever made, and I love it. And you know, we always said, when I said I was going to do a movie night, that movie night is kind of like supposed to be an opportunity for us to talk about movies that you guys wouldn't have a chance to watch. And I think this is definitely one of those, like, he progresses quite significantly. Yeah, this is one of those kind of movies that would be one, like, this is why I kind of wanted to do movie night, where we could talk about these kind of movies. But yeah. So I think Harry Dean Stanton's character, Travis, he obviously starts mute, walking through the desert like a lunatic, completely battered, a shell of a human. And then he ends the movie by, you have all these questions. You want to know what went on there. And I did keep saying to the guys who were like, why is this taking so long? It does build up to a climax. You find out pretty much everything that you go away from this movie with pretty much your questions answered. And you learn about what happened between the characters and what ultimately led to these events. And there's a deep tragedy with what had happened. And yeah, he does. He progresses. The more you learn, obviously he's a blank slate to start, but the more and he's Harry Dean Stanton, so you just want to love him because he's great. But yeah, the more you learn, I don't know where to get the pink jumper dress from. Gutted. How to do my hair like that? She's got gorgeous hair. You learn a lot about this character, and it depends on your perspective, because I think ultimately what we learn about Travis is it's not good. If that's a spoiler, I guess. I think, yeah, walk away now if you don't want spoilers, but I think you learn that he's not a good person. That's why he walked away. And he recognizes that like it all kind of comes back to him. He was kind of like blotting it out by walking through the desert for like ever. And it all kind of gradually comes back to him, and he realizes why he was walking away and why he couldn't stay and why he ultimately does not stay. Because I hate using like toxic masculinity and all that stuff, but it's like, because there's a deep anger and rage inside of him that causes people pain and misery. And even the events of this movie, his actions cause pain and misery, but he also tries to do what's right and ultimately brings his son to his mother. So, and there is a section where there's like a Super 8 tape, and the sister-in-law and his wife have very similar haircuts, and Dakota was very confused. There's only like 2 women in the movie, dude. I mean, the kid's got like lovely blonde hair too. But yeah, and I think it depends on like your perspective and your interpretation, but I think everything that you learn about Travis is your like, he tells you what he did. He tells you what he did, and he tells you barefaced what he did. He tells the camera, he goes into great detail. And yeah, he's it's an interesting thing because I think I said this when, so the end of the movie is basically Travis almost like in a confessional booth like situation where he just says exactly what happened in a very long dialogue driven scene. He tells you everything. And I kind of said, like, the most amazing thing for me, like I said, they didn't use voiceover ever. And they also, in this section, when he just, I mean, I'm starting to think maybe it was because of the financial constraint. But like they just sit and they just filmed him saying exactly what happened and his experience. And he, you know, they could have done like flashbacks, they could have done cuts to it and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a confessional. I feel like because they can't see each other, it's a confessional booth. He even turns his back to her so he doesn't have to look at her when he says it. Hey, make swirlsy whirlsy, welcome in. Yeah, they just left the camera. They just put the camera in the booth and just let him. They just held it still. It wasn't a choice. They couldn't pay the camera operator that day, so they just let Harry Dean Stanton talk on the phone for 20 minutes. But no, I genuinely think that, like, if it were another movie, if it were another director, they would have, like, had flashbacks. They would have had... Because some nasty shit happens. Oh, cool. I like saying McSwirlsy Worlsy. I do like it. I think, you know, you could say that they ran out of money because they did. But I do think that him just saying what happened and leaving it to your imagination and it being real, like it actually, like he's just, it's all in sequence. It's not fucking Christopher Nolan. It's like, it's in sequence. It's all happening in real time. Hey, DCG, welcome in. We're talking about Paris, Texas. It's a great movie. I'm just talking about the last bit because I've given up on trying not to spoil it. But at the end of the movie, a character describes in great detail what happened, and everything is revealed at the end of the movie, in the last like act of the movie. And as I've said, he just sits and he just describes it. He just says what happened. And I think that that's amazing. I think it's great because it's not so much, it doesn't like glamorize or it doesn't sensationalize what happened. It's his experience of what happened. And like, if you did a flashback, it kind of like deadens that impact in the sense that you were just seeing what happened, but it's not from his perspective. It's from like just a third person perspective. Like you're watching it happen, but he's saying what he did. And he's, the fact that he's even admitting it and he's saying it out loud and acknowledging what he did, like that feels powerful to me. That feels more relevant to the characters and what happened. And it's him saying it out. Like there's something powerful in words. And I know, again, they wrote like the way that the movie was made, they didn't even have a last act when they started filming it. They had an unfinished screenplay and they finished it as they went. And I think Wim Wenders just sat down and just said, I think he, like, from what I read somewhere, he dictated that speech to like the secretary down the phone. Weirdly. I'm saying it out loud, it's ridiculous. But Wim Wenders like said, okay, this is the script, and he just like must have just didn't like said all of like the speech that Harry Dean Stanton did down the phone to somebody who typed it all up. Which in hindsight is kind of funny. But yeah, it's there is a lot there. It's what happens is it's all played out in a really I've said this before. I think that Wim Wenders, his style and the way that he chooses to direct a movie is very humanist, in the sense that like it believes in the ultimate good of humanity, which I don't think you see, especially like 70s, 80s, like not in such a kind of gentle kind of because the movie is so slow burning. It really takes its time to build to this kind of climax. It lets you spend time with the characters. It lets you get to know them. It lets you kind of feel the weight of what's going on, even though you don't know what's going on until it's all kind of explained. But you kind of do feel like, especially the brother and his wife, they have quite a sad. Their story's quite sad because they raised that kid for 4 years, and then this man comes back into their life and then it's just over. And I think at one point the wife does say, like, what's going to happen to us? And it's just kind of sad. He screwed his brother over. Yeah, but this is it. The main character, Travis, is like, he's not a good guy. He leaves a trail of destruction. And yeah, no, the end of their story is literally just them reeling from the shock of losing their son, who was their son. He was their son. It's quite sad. And obviously Travis drives off into the sunset, which is the image that you can see in front of you. And but Hunter is reunited with his mother at the end, which is lovely. But yeah, it's kind of like one man's madness causing all of this destruction wherever he goes. So ultimately all he feels like he can do is just walk endlessly through the desert, because he can't function without this anger. I think it's anger. I want to say it's anger. I don't know. You can interpret it how you want, but there's a rage. I think he refers to how his dad was nasty to his mum, but like, I think it comes down to this, and it's not like an indictment. Again, it's like, you know, when you say like toxic masculinity and all that stuff, and like male hubris, and you kind of diagnose him. I don't think any of that kind of applies. I just think he is in and of himself a destructive person. But yeah. Yeah, it was Jane. I mean, her job doesn't exactly like yeah. Hey, Hobbit. Anyway, I always end up doing like what did you actually think of the movie? Like, genuinely, like, I know Dakoba said that he's watched it again, and I feel like we've got a lot of thoughts and stuff. I mean, go into like, do you think that Jane would be equipped to be his mother? I to care for him, I think she's got to have a chat. She's got to try. I think she's ready to try. I think that was her kind of, the way she talks to him. I think it's her saying, I'm ready. But yeah. I think she's, I don't know. I think she wants to try. Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe, but we don't know. And we've ripped this child from his somewhat comfortable life to be with his mother. Don't even know how that's going to end up. It's a very ambiguous ending. But yeah, like, I guess Dakoba and Yesha, I'm down for that. And I think Hobbit turned up for a little bit. Sorry to call you out. But like, have you got any like thoughts that you want to share with me? Because all I've done is talk. So like, feel free to kind of give me thoughts that you like, anything. Did you like it? I guess. Is it a one that you can say that you liked? I know it's a lot to chew on, but is it a movie that you can like? Yeah, I guess not. But you did, yeah. I think Jane, if it was a pick your own adventure, you'd want him to, yeah, okay, you'd want him to go back to his brother. No, it is. It's a very I think it is one that you have to kind of sit down and switch on for, yeah. Well, I say switch on. I think you need to kind of engage with it. In a way like you have to kind of, it asks you to ask a lot of questions. I think that's one thing that I will say about it. It does, and not even ask questions, it just wants you to feel it. And I think you have to kind of go on the journey with it. So it is definitely one to kind of start and kind of go along with. You go on a ride with it. But yeah, I think with Jane, I think I think she's gonna try her best. I think she's ready to I think what Jane did when it came down to it, when she left Hunter with the brother, I think it was Jane that left Hunter with the brother and his wife. I think it was Jane that did that, removed Hunter from the situation, because we know that Travis just went off walking. So I think that was her doing the best thing in that moment for her kid, and then not being able to kind of come back to it because she didn't feel worthy. And I think Travis coming to her and having that conversation and giving her that closure meant that she was ready and that she could have that closure and she could put that behind her and be a mum, because I don't think she ever didn't want to be a mum. I think she just didn't feel worthy of having that. I just don't think that she felt like she could, given what happened, because she felt like a failure for not protecting him in the moment. So I think getting that closure from Travis meant that she could be a mother, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like that's, yeah. Him starting in the desert, no name, no identity. You just have questions, and by the is the best monologue and has faced himself as a person. Yeah. So yeah. You enjoyed it. I'm glad. Too many of Jane's dreams of escaping actually literally happened to Travis for it to be taken as real. I feel like the image, like we've mentioned before, that the camera was very stationary, and a lot of the imagery is just like big open shots of, and it's very still. I think that this is me being really like film nerdy, but I do think that those kind of like big open wide shots where like you're taking everything in and then they're just kind of like there, and I do feel like it is almost dreamlike, like, but yeah, and everything looked crisp and beautiful. And the sky, I don't know how they managed to get the sky. It looks so perfect every damn day, but like, what is that about? Like I say, like they had like shots of gas stations, rundown gas stations, and they were beautiful to look at. Yeah, I think the way that they use the camera and the composition of every shot is very well thought out. Yeah, it's almost, yeah, and this is what was kind of expressed at the time when the movie came out, that he was a European looking at America through his kind of European artsy lens. He was, and even the name Paris, Texas kind of like combines European sensibilities with the American kind of like landscape it was kind of like a fusion almost. And it kind of like gives it an almost detached kind of view as well, because it's like he's not from there, he's just kind of looking at it and admiring it. I don't know. The doc was a drunk. Someone always appeared to stop, like Travis started. Someone always appeared to stop it, like Rory did despise the huge improbability of finding him by chance. The sister-in-law was French. She was French. The sister-in-law was French. And the brother did find, yeah, those things are like, I think, movie coincidences. Maybe him find it, I don't know. I feel like I don't know, the sister-in-law being French is a coincidence. I just like that you just, like, it doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. I don't know. I just think it's because it's like the guy that made it was European. I think he wanted a French lady in there somewhere. I don't know. I don't know why they cast a French lady. And the doctor was German. I think I remember that image of Natasha was when Paris, Texas won the vote in my Discord. Join the Discord if you want to have an influence on our movie picks. And you kind of, I remember you looked at that image and I put that in the chat and you kind of went, that looks very Lynchian. That looks very, yeah, it was Lynchian. I think you said like David Lynch. Almost dream, like, and David Lynch has quite a famous, obviously, predilection for dreamlike scenarios. Yeah, I think that the German guy, like I say, I had to say to you, I felt like compelled to say when you guys were watching it, the German doctor isn't actually the director, but like you guys didn't realize the director was German, so you were like, I don't get it, and I was just like, I don't know, it was like, it was one of those things that I picked up on when I watched it. I was like, he's German. He doesn't look anything like Wim Wenders, but is it weird that he's German? A mise en scene. Because it's in Paris, obviously. Pretty. Paris is pretty. It is a dream in the sense that Paris being in Texas feels like almost like it in the movie they make it into a joke, like it's a little joke, but like it doesn't sound right. It sounds weird. It's not, it doesn't make sense. It's a dichotomy. That's a good word for it, yeah. And the mirrors reflecting one another. Paris is stinky. I wouldn't know, I've never been, but yeah. But Paris is supposed to be fancy. They are unified in grittiness, and there is something to be said for, they're both beautiful in their own ways. Yeah, this shitty bit. Okay, well, it's a capital city. I've never been. but it's, you know, Paris has a reputation for being high culture. You know, French food is the best culinary experience. Fashion is very big deal in Paris. It's bougie. Yeah, there's a little circle of Paris that's nice and then the rest is shithole. That makes sense. That's the same for every capital city. They keep the nice bit for the tourists. I know, I've been to London. Yeah, London. Yeah, big smoke. I know. But yeah, I think it's kind of like a mix of ideals. It's a mix of ideas. Like I said before, the fact that it's a European director filming in America with, again, what they said at the time was European sensibilities, but he's taking in Americana and he's looking at it and you can tell just from the way he uses that camera, from the cinematography. He thinks if he doesn't think it's beautiful, then how did he make it so beautiful? I mean, he makes it look so, like, even just them just sitting under like a flight path of like planes in LA on the top of the cliff. Their house, you know, even just really mundane things look beautiful. It is, yeah. There's nice bits and stabby bits. Okay, so Paris is like quite small. Okay, I say that. So yeah, it's a movie with a lot of, like we say, I think a dichotomy. It's got a lot of conflicting ideologies. It's got a lot of, even like Travis and Jane's experiences. Again, they're like conflicting because obviously Travis had his experience and she had her experience, and they both do almost like, you know, they say what they need to say. There's that beautiful catharsis at the end, and it does kind of like, yeah. Oh, you mean Natasha Klinsky? It looked like Carell Prison. I don't know, man. I mean, Carell Prison. I mean, look at that one. Like, there was some sunsets. There was that bank that had no reason. Like, the bank with the drive-through drop-off. The bank was dead fancy. Even just the car is, like, vintage. And I know you made fun of the Star Wars bed sheets, but it was cozy and obviously, like, made a... Like, it was a drive-through bank. Yeah, it was weird. 80s, man. And then we spent a lot of time in a peep show booth. It's great. It's a great movie. I mean, honestly, like, when did they do the movie? I've been too old. But if they'd just like done Return of the Jedi and then immediately started making the prequels, he would have been a really good Anakin. He would have been great. Yeah, I mean, maybe it was all a dream. And if you think I kind of love that you do think it's a dream. Yeah, I mean, let's be real, okay? You could fit like Texas could fit the vast majority of Europe. Like, you could fit a lot of like, it's huge. I'm saying that. Like, I always kind of compare Texas to the size of the UK. But yeah. Texas, yeah. This is it. So in Texas you could drive for days or you could drive for a really, really long time and still be in Texas. Whereas we always make a joke about it, like in the UK you can drive an hour down the road and you've got a different accent, you know? Or you could drive like for 6 hours in Europe and go through several countries if you felt like it. Like, different countries, different cultures. Whereas if you drove the same distance in Texas, you would still be in Texas. But yeah. Yeah, it looks like Leeds, yeah. I would love to see Wim Wonders direct a movie in Leeds. If you drive for 2 hours, you could end up in another country. There you go, yeah. 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 And that's it. And I do think like that was the main like pull. I do know. So they did like, it did compete at the Cannes Festival. And I think, did it win anything? I don't think it won anything. Did it win anything? Accolades. It won the Palme d'Or. There you go. So it won a bunch of awards at the Cannes Film Festival, and the BAFTAs gave it Best Direction. Wim Wenders won Best Director. There you go. British people know their shit. Are you serious? Am I saying it wrong? Palme d'Or. It was unanimous, apparently. The Cannes thing. Am I saying it wrong? Yeah. Palme d'Or. It's one of the most prestigious movie awards. It Cannes Film Festival. No. Palm. I'm saying. Stop it. Like it's a door. Like d'or. Am I saying it wrong? Shut up. It won that award. It means best dessert, yeah. I'm going to type it all out so that I can't get told off. Is it? The balloon. What are you on about? Means balls, golden balls. Got it. So Cannes Film Festival is the most elite of the movie film festivals, I guess. And the Golden Palm d'Or, is like the fanciest of the awards. But then they also have like the Grand Prix, which is the grand prize. So it's like there's two awards, which I guess, but everybody, the only ones that people care about is the Palme d'Or, the Grand Prix. Whatever. Anyway, the Academy shut it out. It didn't win any awards at the Academy. Academy Awards were like, nah, not bothered. So take from that what you will. The Oscars didn't like it, even though it is regularly kind of held up as one of the greatest movies ever made. I think Wes Anderson has cited it as an inspiration. And I think Sam Mendes really has mentioned it. Okay, so I am on this isn't a plug or anything, but I started I'm signed it, like I was looking for a streamer with different kinds of movies on. I was going through I hate Netflix phase, and that's when I stumbled across Mubi, which I'm probably gonna pronounce wrong. Anyway, so Mubi is a they call it the curated film streamer service. But back in day, yeah, stop it. I knew I was saying it wrong. Saying it sounds stupid. So anyway, Mubi, I've been on it. Hang on, I'll get you my profile. Hang on. I've been on Mubi since like 2017. And back in 2017, back when it was cool, they used to have just 30 movies on the website every month. This is a note, yeah. Mubi, if you want to sponsor my stream, give me free Mubi, please. But yeah, no, Mubi is basically like the film festival streamer. That's what it is. And yeah. Paris, Texas. Yeah, crying is a good response to Paris, Texas. So I'm just saying the first time I watched it was in 2019, and it was back. So basically, Mubi would do 30 movies on its service, and then it would take every for 30 days, and the movie would be on. They put a movie on, it would be on there for 30 days, and then they knock it off and add another one. So it'd have like a 30 days rolling movies. So that was their thing, and it was really good. But then 2020 happened, and they opened up their catalog, and now you can just watch anything on it. It's completely removed the 30-day conceit, which now means that I have to scroll through loads of shit to find a movie I want to watch, which means it's like any other streamer. But back when it was just 30 movies, and I would just look through them, and then they'd add a new one every day, I was able to like watch quite a lot of movies that I would never have otherwise watched, and they would get like licenses and stuff, and kind of put stuff on, and it would be like a mix of modern and old school. And Paris, Texas was a movie that they put on back in 2019, and they did a Wim Wenders kind of like series, and they put a lot of his movies like over the course, like they put a new one of his on every week. So for a few weeks I watched like quite a few of his catalog because they just put them on, and then you'd only have a month to watch them, so I made an effort to watch them. The other one that they did that I really enjoyed was what was the director? Oh, he did like melodramas. Oh, it's gonna bug me. There was another one that I watched like all of the movies that they put on through the series. I'll get back to it. What was his name? Douglas Sirk. I went through a phase of watching all of Douglas Sirk's melodramas. And Agnes Varda. I also watched a lot of hers. Anyway, neither here nor there. But like, Mubi is really cool because it's got like all of the stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so it's just film festival like stuff, and stuff that you've probably never heard of, and cult classics and things like that, and they put it all up on there. And I'll just say to P-Dubs, Harry Dean Stanton in Paris, Texas, I love his performance. I love everything about it. And I also think that because he's Harry Dean Stanton, he's like, he breaks my heart into a million pieces, because the reveal at the end always makes me cry. It really does make me cry. Like, if you're not crying in the last 20 minutes of that movie, like, we were watching it the other day, and we were on the Discord, and like, we've been typing all the way through the movie. Like, we just sending each other funny gifs and stuff. And like, I send gifs, that's my thing. But like, yeah. And then the last 20 minutes of it, I just sat back. I didn't say anything I might have like thumbs up a couple of things, but yeah. But yeah. I'm glad I get to share this kind of knowledge. And this is it. Like, if I hadn't watched things on Mubi, I wouldn't have been able to kind of share these kind of stuff with you. Yeah, it's my own service. It's me having watched, like, so yeah, so I watched Mubi, and then I got into Letterboxd. So Letterboxd, I think I started it. So Mubi I started in 2017, and then Letterboxd was like, I started logging my movies in 2017 around the same time. So I just logged everything. No, it was 2019 when I started on Letterboxd, and then I logged everything from Mubi onto my Letterboxd. That's what I did. So yeah, I remember I watched Paris, Texas, and I didn't know what to make of it in 2019. And it was one of the first movies that I like reviewed on Letterboxd. And if anybody is on my Letterboxd, I'll link you my Letterboxd. But on my Letterboxd, so Letterboxd, you can what am I gonna say? You can rate your movies with half stars. Sorry, yeah, I should have just done the command. Thanks to go. You can rate your movies with like half stars, so you can technically rate your movies out of 10. I don't know. I was just looking at it. You can rate your movies out of 10 on Letterboxd with half stars, but because I'd been on Mubi and Mubi only let me rate my movies out of 5 stars, that's why I'm probably one of the only people on Letterboxd that only rates movies with full star ratings, because I originally started my ratings on Mubi and I was like, I'm not doing half stars. So if anybody asks, nobody's ever asked because nobody gives a shit. But you can rate half stars on Letterboxd, but I refuse to because I started doing my ratings on Mubi and Mubi only let me do full stars, and I think a 5-star rating system is perfectly adequate. Yeah, that's Hammy law. That's some real law shit right there. It wasn't something she did to him. He was crushed by what he did. He's a bad man and he is a destructive force, and he leaves a trail of destruction in his wake, and it's devastating, but it's also a beautiful movie. So yeah, I mean, if the thing is, right, you don't have to like it, but I think we can all agree it's an experience. And I think with a lot of movies, especially the ones that I've watched on Mubi, especially like the artsy fartsy ones, I think with a lot of them, I'll have watched them and I don't know what to make of them, or I didn't like them. But I don't think I'd ever regret seeing something like that. Like, I don't regret what I don't think I. It's very rare where I regret watching a movie. If I watch a movie and it's like really bad, like especially on Mubi, like at least I can say I watched it. Like there's a French director called Gaspar Noé. I can't say his name, and I refuse to try. And I hate all of his movies, but like the film, oh god, it's taking me back. The film Twitter guys like love him, and I think everything that I've watched by him is shit. And I say that having watched 2 of his movies and hating them. But yeah, if you look at my movie, it's got quite a wide selection. But yeah, it's like I didn't get it or I didn't feel it, but I'm glad I watched it. And there's quite a lot of those on my Mubi. A lot of them I do just give 3 stars. Yeah, and that's it. And I think that's why we do these movie streams, so that we can like talk about it and see how we feel about it. But yeah. Yeah, and I think these are the things that I like about Paris, Texas. Like things that I like things they could have done. They could have added voiceover to explain everything. They don't. There's very little exposition. They don't do any flashbacks. They just play it in sequential, like, yeah. And everything that you learn about the characters is done in a way that feels natural and feels like it's contributing towards the plot of and moving these characters into a place where they need to be. And then obviously Harry Dean Stanton eventually comes to understand who he is and what he did, and he goes to Jane and he tells her and he confesses, I guess, and he has that moment. And yeah, we've been talking about the cinematography. It's gorgeous. I mean, this image behind me, that's one of like the last frames of the film, but I'll say it again. Every frame in that movie, I would just put it on a wall. I think every frame is beautiful. I think the composition of every shot is gorgeous, and I think it's just stunning, like all of the choices that were made. But yeah, you just thought of something? Go. I'm sure. Yeah, Paris, Texas, I watched in February 2019. When he leaves the shower on, that's something Jane would do in order to escape. Yeah, maybe that's just a kind of echo of him kind of picking up on that. It's movie night, Connor. Welcome in. Don't talking about Paris, Texas. He's an echo of her. That's an interesting interpretation. I think he's... Yeah, but like, right, okay. But if we put every frame of the movie on a wall, like, right, so if I ever did an art installation and I became that person, I would put every frame of Paris, Texas on a wall in an art installation and go, art. That would be me doing art. If you ever went to a ham fruitcake art installation, it would just be me with a colour printer printing out every frame of Paris, Texas and gluing it to a wall. Because I think it's beautiful. Echoing. Yeah, I think it does. I think the way that like Travis and Jane's characters have left, well, I can't even think of a word for it. Like, they've left this imprint on each other that they can't escape. Like, she even says to it, like, him at one point, she's like, every man I ever meet is you now. Like, he's there. He's a permanent presence within her. Like, she'll never fully, but she got that catharsis, you know. So yeah. Permanent fixture, yes. Have you seen the movie, Connor? I'd highly recommend it if you like movies. It's a gorgeous movie. So yeah, just for anybody who's not familiar with the plot, Harry Dean Stanton. So I'll give you the elevator pitch. Harry Dean Stanton starts the movie walking through the desert. He's all raggedy and confused, and he's just walking through the desert in Texas. And he stumbles into a building and is trying to look for water because he's run out of water. And he ends up finding an icebox and chewing on some ice, and he just passes out. And then the doctor, they take him, the guy at the building takes him to a doctor, and the doctor kind of brings him to consciousness, and he's not talking. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know who he is. And he's not really willing to give up any information. So the doctor finds his wallet and his personal effects and rings his brother. And his brother tells the doctor, that is my brother. He's been missing for 4 years. And his brother flies over from LA to come and get his brother and take him home with him. And I'm going to leave it at that. But yeah. And Travis is the main character, played by Harry Dean Stanton. And his brother's, it's not Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap, but it's it's like the Colonel or something from Quantum Leap. It's an 80s movie. And he eventually starts talking to his brother, but he doesn't remember anything, so we gradually learn about what happened to him and how things kind of fell apart. The brother was really sweet, and his wife's really sweet, and it's all the characters are like, you can't, like, the characters are great. Everyone feels really natural. And as we've said, there is a kid actor in the movie who is like the least irritating kid actor that ever existed. But as I've mentioned before, if you didn't know this, P-dubs, the screenplay was written, the screenwriter was like, yes, I'll write your screenplay, Wim Wenders, but my son has to star in the movie, and his son, his son, it's the screenwriter's son, plays the little boy in the movie, and his mum was like the Karen Black, who nobody's heard of, but was quite a famous actor in the 70s. So yeah, he had his screenwriter dad and his actor mum had him star in the movie. Helped him out a bit. So I don't know if that meant it like helped him be less of an annoying kid actor. He was really good. He's a really good kid actor. But yeah. And we've been talking about like how you haven't seen Wings of Desire. So yeah, we should probably talk about Wim Wenders' other movies. Wings of Desire was like second in the vote. So I basically this month, so November, I was like, we're doing Wim Wenders November. And nobody knew what that meant. And I was like, you have to vote for a Wim Wenders movie. So yeah, he's got a few. So Wings of Desire is like, if you couldn't quite get your head around Paris, Texas, I think Wings of Desire would probably have been even more of a an ask. So I'm kind of glad that we went for his most famous one. But Wings of Desire is really fucking cool. No wonder you can't have November with no Wim Wender. That didn't work. But yeah. Wim Wenders did a really good slew of movies in the 80s and then just went off and did his own thing, did some documentaries, did some chill whatever. He directed a couple of movies that were in the early 2000s and stuff. And then most recently he made a movie, and I don't know, it's like a public service thing where like companies will ask famous directors to direct short movies for their stuff, and Tokyo Toilets department were like, Wim Wenders, you want to do a short movie for our toilets we're really proud of, public toilets in Tokyo? And Wim Wenders was like, I will do you guys a movie, but it's going to be a feature-length movie, and it's going to be my best work since 1989. And it got Oscar nominated. It's called Perfect Days. It was made last year. And it's a feature-length movie about a toilet cleaner in Tokyo, and he cleans the public toilets. And it's an examination on identity and fucking existentialism. And he has a really good sound. Like, he listens to the radio when he's driving to work every day, and he always listens to a fucking banger every day. It's great. So if you've never heard of Wim Wenders, Perfect Days came out last year. It got like Oscar buzz. It's really fucking good. And it was supposed to be just an advert for toilets in Tokyo, but it's like it's a feature-length movie with a narrative, and he's cleaning the toilets, and you see the toilets in Tokyo. You get a good look at the toilets in Tokyo. I'm just saying, they're beautiful public toilets in Tokyo. So you know, he did what he set out to do. But yeah, it's his best movie. He basically, yeah, he didn't make any good movies for like fucking years. He did Wings of Desire in 1987, which is a beautiful movie. And then I don't know any of the rest of these, but there's like nothing there. That Submergence I watched, shockingly bad movie. And then Perfect Days came out, and it was so good. Yeah, he should come and do another, like, I'll see what, you know, keep an eye on Wim Wenders. Maybe he'll do a different city. But yeah, it was nominated for the Best International Feature Film at the Academy Awards. And it competed for the Golden Palm at Cannes Film Festival. It's a great movie. Yeah. He's a weird guy. I love him. But yeah, Wim Wenders, is it a sequel to Tokyo Drift? It's better than Tokyo Drift. I say that. I said it. It was not the Golden Shower. Different award ceremony, I believe. Apparently it's in the Criterion Collection. Tokyo Skids. Ugh. Guys are making toilet jokes. Ugh. Well, you know what, right? I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I know I'm presenting myself as a film nerd, I've only ever watched Fast and Furious 1. I skipped 2, but I went to see Tokyo Drift at cinema. And I've never seen another Fast and Furious movie. I think I watched Fast and Furious, the OG one, just because it was on telly. But I've not watched the other like 8 or 9 Fast and Furious movies. Could potentially be my first half star, yes. I've seen Terminator. I've seen T2 now because I got bullied by you guys. This is a symbiotic relationship, you see. What we're doing is I'm introducing you to little known German auteurs who make movies about toilets, and you're making me watch Terminator 2, and I think I watched Aliens because you nagged me about it. I'd watched the original Aliens and then I just didn't watch the rest of them. Then you all told me Aliens is like good. I'm not going to say what I actually think about it. I like Terminator 2 though. So yeah, this is how it works. You guys nag me to watch things that I haven't watched, and I'll show you the random ass movies I watched. I'll make you watch Ishtar again. Anyway, Mars Express, is that the French one? I don't think we've watched that one. I do like French movies. Right. So, speaking of, next month, it's December. This is our way. C'est bon. I have heard of Raw. What's the name of the director? Oh, it's gonna bug me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I know this. Hang on. I'm cheating a little bit. Because I've watched Titane. I've watched her other one. The one where the lady has sex with the car. Yes, I've heard of it. I've watched the director's other movie where the lady had sex with the car. I just remember I watched it with me. Strange addiction. It's maybe maybe it's my strange addiction. It's not a Google, it's my Mubi. It's my movie. I'm on Mubi. Blah blah blah. I'm on Mubi. I don't think Titania's in there. Titania is a movie that I gave like 2 stars. It was one of those ones where I was like, I don't know if I liked it or not. Although, speaking of movies where weird shit happens with cars, have you guys ever heard of Rubber? Okay, I'm just gonna... I don't know how to... Well, how should I link you to Rubber? I'm saying it out loud now and I realize it's wrong. It's by a French director. I'm just going to read you the synopsis. Robert is an inanimate tire that has been abandoned in the desert. Suddenly and inexplicably comes to life. As Robert roams the bleak landscape, he discovers that he possesses terrifying telepathic powers that give him the ability to destroy anything he wishes without having to move. It's really weird. Yeah, that's the only way I can describe it. And then the doctor calls the brother. Alright, I'm just giving you the link of my movie. Anyway, that's by a French director. But it's set in America. Okay, I'm just going to throw movies at you now. From my Mubi. Also, VPNs work on Mubi. Just, like, I'm selling this shit to you. They don't pay me nothing. I have to pay for this myself. I think of other weird shit. Anyway, I'm just trying to find the one where she has sex with a car. Yes, Raw I have heard of. Anyway. What were we talking about? Yeah, Christmas. December. Next movie night. Okay? The theme is going to be alternative Christmas. Okay? So I'm going to... Have I written a list? Where I wrote a list? Ah, yes, Christmas. So we said we were going to watch, like, we're going to pick Christmas movies that... So it's going to be a vote. We always do a vote on the Discord. The link is 3 lines up. If you want to join the Discord, you can have there's a movie night channel. We also do Wordle every day. on the Discord. What else do I do on the Discord? I post my videos. I post photos of Pedro Pascal when I'm feeling it. What else? I'm not selling it. I post photos of fashion shows, and fashion people wearing fashion. And I also post my letterboxd reviews. And is that selling it? It's really nice. It's a nice little cozy Discord. Just join it if you want to vote on next month's movie night. We're doing alternative Christmas. So I do a vote. I put the vote up for like a couple of weeks. I leave it for an inordinate length of time for people to vote on. I'm making a list and I'm checking it twice. What can be more alternatives than Cyberpunk Detective? What? Is it a Christmas? Right, so it's got to tangentially like be Christmassy. Okay, so alternative Christmas vote. So I've got so far, these are the ones that have been suggested. Jingle All the Way. Arnie Schwarzenegger is trying to get the kid from Star Wars his Turbo Man doll on Christmas Eve. I watch it every year, so I'm putting it on the list. And then the next one is Violent Night, which I think I've seen. Is Batman Returns? Okay, we can put it on the list. Batman Returns is Christmassy. That is alternative Christmas. Violent Night is Hopper from Stranger Things. He's Santa. We can put, you know what? I'm going to put loads on the list. I'm going to make a big list. Die Hard, why not? Any Shane Black movie. Yeah, my sister did say do a Shane Black. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is on the list. It's got Michelle Monaghan in it. She's fit ass. Right. Okay, so we've got Jingle All the Way. Jingle All the Way. Silent Night. Violent Night. So I can't read my handwriting. What is Sint? Can somebody tell me what's Sint? Yeah, we're trying to do alternative. Like, I feel like everybody watches Die Hard at Christmas. Like Die Hard or Gremlins. I'm trying to think of like, somebody's suggested, what is Sint? Sint is the Dutch Sinterklaas. Okay. I've written it down. Evil Santa Claus. Okay, we'll cross off Die Hard. Is Batman... So we're going with Batman Returns. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Bad Santa. Is that the Billy Bob Thornton one? I feel like I've got the DVD of that somewhere, but I've never watched it. I've never watched it. I just like Jingle All the Way. Tokyo Godfathers was the other one, which is our anime. It's Satoshi Kon. I have actually got the DVD. No, I haven't. Have I? Yeah. Greatest Christmas movie ever! It's actually set between Christmas and New Year. But it's great. Silent Night as in Garbage Day. Have I got no... Violent Night as in Santa's got a hammer that he's gonna smash your face in with. Okay, what are you voting? Because I need to know. Right. Alternative Christmas. Thinking. What else? Right. Okay. Because I need to... Right. I'm crossing off Bad Santa because I don't want to watch that. Nightmare Before Christmas. I feel like it's more Halloween. Although, like, I don't know. It's very in betwixt. And then, what was I going to say? And then, just while I'm thinking out loud for that one, in January, if anybody has any ideas, the movie would used to do a series where they'd like release or they'd like put up like the first movies directed by big directors, if that makes sense. So like Christopher Nolan's did Following, which is like a 60-minute movie of a guy following somebody around the street, and like Sofia Coppola did Virgin Suicides. That was her first movie, kind of first movies. Dumb and Dumber. Okay. No movie that's in Kingdom... Any movie. No for any movie that's in Kingdom Hearts. Which one's referenced in Kingdom Hearts? Oh, okay, right. Nightmare Before Christmas. I just got that reference. Dumb and or Dumber. I'll put it on. Is Dumb and Dumber set at Christmas? Right. I'm just trying to think because I know that they ski. Okay, I'll have to double check that one. There's I wanted to put an old black and white movie on and I can't remember it. It's not gonna be It's a Wonderful Life because that's not what I was thinking of. I'm gonna Google it. Don't judge me. I'm Googling it because I can't be bothered to not Google it right now. I want to make sure that I get it right. Is it set at Christmas? Because there's a screwball comedy that I was gonna kind of force you guys to watch. Dumb and Dumber is a no then. I don't think it's that one. Is it The Awful Truth? No, that's not it. Right. There was a screwball comedy I was gonna suggest, but maybe I'll do a screwball. Screwball February? I don't know. I'm trying to think of themes, man. Themes. Nah, I can't find the one that I was thinking of. Maybe it was... No, it wasn't actually Screwball. Maybe it was the one where he was like really drunk and miserable. Okay, right, what have we got? Jingle All the Way. Violent Night. Eyes Wide Shut is actually... Yeah, okay. That's actually good. I'm gonna take off your Dumb and Dumber and I'll raise you an Eyes Wide Shut. That is set at Christmas. The Grinch with Benedict Cumberbatch. Is that a thing? What is that? Okay, hang on. The Shining has got snow in it. Wait, are we suggesting The Thing because it's set in the Arctic with Kurt Russell? How many things? I normally do 5 on the vote. This is gonna fuck everything up. We've got like 10. There's a Grinch with Benedict Cumberbatch. There's a newest... Oh, you've got kids. That's why. That sounds fun. Hobbit. Let me just blow your mind for a second. Let's not watch the film that you've watched 10,000 times. Let's watch one that you haven't watched. Apart from the fact that I've watched Jingle All the Way and Tokyo Godfathers a million times. Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. FF13 does have snow. Arthur Christmas, I have heard of that. Is that a kid's one? Holy Mountain. Okay, right. I will... What's Holy Mountain? And then I'm kind of gonna start. It's a Spanish movie. A Mexican movie. What? I know you only watch kids' films. It has Jesus in it. It was what? The film was produced by the Beatles manager. Oh, this looks very highbrow. And made by people who were taking drugs. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through the Wikipedia article and it's just, there's a section that says preparation. Before the principal photography started, Joe Dorowski and his wife spent a week without sleep under the direction of a Japanese Zen master. I'm gonna jot that one down for when we do like holy tripping balls as a theme. Yeah, it does sound really intense. Yeah, we can do Gasp and No as well while we're there. Yeah. Maybe we'll stick to Santa and snow. Yeah, I mean, basically not sleeping sounds... Yeah. Jodorowsky was also instructed by Ikazo who I think that's the Zen master, to take LSD for the purpose of spiritual exploration. He also administered psilocybin mushrooms to the actors during the shooting of the Death Rebirth scene. This is the last time I just scrolled on a Wikipedia page. Right. Alternative Christmas. I'll get the list together. I think I might just stick everything on the list. I'm not massively bothered. I'll let you do multiple choices. So we'll pull a list together. Gremlins. I do like Gremlins, but if I okay, so this is a tangent. Gremlins 2 is one of my favorite movies in the whole fucking world, and they're making a third movie, and they don't have Joe Dante on. They're making a third Gremlins movie without, I don't think you understand. I don't think anyone understands why. Oh, I thought it was a joke. My husband just showed me like an article and I was like, that's a joke. That's not happening. It's gonna hurt. It hurts my feelings. Hurts my feelings. And if they don't exhume all of the original like friggin' plastic Gremlins from 1989, if they try to CGI the Gremlins, I'm going to freak the fuck out. They need to be practically made, and they need to have arms and legs, and they need to go right. Never mind. What has Gizmo been up to? I don't know. Phoebe Cates is still around. I don't know about Billy. Oh my god, if they try to reboot it with other kids, they're gonna try and reboot it. It's Sony. It's Warner Brothers. It's Warner Brothers? Who owns Warner Brothers? Who's doing this to me? Why do I write a letter of complaint? Anyway, yeah, fuck. Okay, Gremlins. I'll put it on the list. I'm a little bit obsessed with Gremlins, although I do prefer Gremlins too. I shouldn't have watched it when I was a small child. I was probably too young for it. I just remember being way too young for that. But yeah. They can have one CGI gremlin. They prick with a pin and it just explodes into 1,000,000 pixels. For jokes. They're not doing it with Joe Dante. I'm gonna fucking scream. Anyway. What were we talking about? Paris, Texas. If you haven't seen Paris, Texas, take the time, sit down, get a good beverage, and watch the movie. And tell me what you think about it. You know where I am. I'm always about. But it's definitely a movie that everybody, I think, should see at least once and experience it, because it is an experience. And as previously mentioned, it's a beautiful movie that I would put on a wall because I think every frame is beautiful. I think that it does everything with just skill. I can't think of another word for it. It's a skillfully made movie. There's no stupid exposition. There's no voiceover. There's no flashbacks. There's no CGI, even though why would there be CGI? But it's just a good movie about people and experiences and connections and a truly terrible man. But it was great. And it's a great movie. But yeah. And the doctor drinks tequila. But yeah. That's the Gremlins gimmick. CGI. Okay. Oh. Blow my mind. Before I let you go. If anybody has any more thoughts, any more... Honestly, like, I guess the whole... Oh yeah, like in Gremlins 2, yeah, they do. They take the piss. They all had gimmicks, yeah. There's that, is it the Key and Peele, like, thing? Hang on. Key and Peele Gremlins. Should we just watch it? Let's just watch it. They can have the one that's CGI. I'm going off on a tangent again. I get distracted so easily, you guys. We're gonna watch the Gremlins skit because it's funny and it's a basic encapsulation of the Gremlins 2 movie. Yeah. Yeah, out of here. And then we'll finish the stream. Because it makes me laugh every time.
Gremlins 2. I'm telling you, this movie should write itself. The first one was a classic. This should be pretty straightforward. Basically, all we're doing is maintaining the integrity of the original picture. We want to do all the stuff with the water and the... Can we help you?
I'm sorry. Let me introduce myself. Hi, y'all. My name is Star Magic Jackson Jr. I'm the Hollywood sequel doctor. So studio just brings me in to oversee things when they about to drop a deuce. So that's why I'm here, but don't mind me. I'm just gonna be over here. Y'all do your thing. It's your movie.
Okay. Let's brainstorm. Adam.
If it's gonna take place in an office building, I was thinking, what if Gizmo gets wet from a water cooler this time?
Okay, hold on a second. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to step in here just 1 second, sweetheart. So what's wrong with y'all? Y'all looking like a bunch of sad sacks. This is G2, people. We're writing Gremlins 2. It should be a party with pizza and anchovies, pineapple. Just, come on, lift up the spirits. Look, okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of spice into the mixture here. What if we did this? Everybody here gets to design their own gremlin.
I don't see that the gremlin design is broken.
It's called brainstorming, not brain drizzling, sweet pea, okay? Shut your mouth for a second. Look, here's the thing. None of this is final.
So you mean, like, what if there was, like, a brainy gremlin?
A brainy gremlin.
You talking about a gremlin with glasses who could talk and sing New York, New York? That's brilliant. It's in the movie, done.
Whoa, you said that nothing was final.
That was before I heard the words brainy and gremlin in the same sentence together. It's done, I love it, it's in the movie next.
What about a spider gremlin?
You mean a gremlin with 8 legs and a thorax just catching pretty ladies in a web in an office building? Oh my God, it's in the movie, I love it! Next!
What about a bat gremlin?
You mean a gremlin with leathery wings just flying around, flip-flopping, bust through a wall, make a perfect bat symbol in the wall, get outside, get in some wet concrete, jump up on a building and just dry in place like a gargoyle gremlin? We are cooking with gas now. I love it. It's in the movie next.
Could there be a female gremlin?
Lipstick, boobies, bitch, you have me and little gremlin but JJ. I love it so much that it's not only in the movie, but it's definitely in the movie. There's no backsies on that one, no penny taxis. Yes, 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 in the movie, done. That's why we need a woman in the writer's room. Next.
I don't know. A googly-eyed gremlin?
But you do know, because you talk about a gremlin whose sole purpose in this film is just that he looks stupid as fuck. Yes, it can be in the movie, and it is in the movie. Done. Next. What about you, Silver Fox?
Electricity gremlin?
You just said noun and gremlin, like you playing Mad Libs. You just like a child. You have the brain of a child. You do not have a high IQ, but you haphazardly came up with a gremlin that's just made out of bolts that is zigzagging all over the room and is done completely in animation. You a crazy person, and your idea's in the movie. Done. Next.
Can we put the Hulkster in it?
What? You talking about putting Hulk Hogan, professional wrestler, turned actor, turned cultural icon in the movie where he break the fourth wall of the movie he's in by talking to the audience. You, sir, are a raging psychopath. Don't let this town take that away from you. That's it. I don't even care anymore. We got the Hulkster in this bitch, so it's done. I don't have any more time. So let me just recap right now. It's brainy gremlin, spider gremlin, bat gremlin, lady gremlin, googly eye gremlin, electricity gremlin. Hulk Hogan's gonna be in the picture. I'm gonna throw in a gremlin myself. Vegetable gremlin, just write it up. I'm having so much fun, thank you. It's all gonna be in the actual film. Now I gotta go put some Cowboys and Back to the Future 3. Sayonara, y'all. Oops.
No, okay, you guys know that none of that is gonna be in the actual movie.
All of that is in the movie. Right. Okay. What were we talking about? Tell you what, let's just throw it out. Let's not even do Christmas. Let's just watch Gremlins 2 again on repeat. It's a fucking great movie. Yeah. Okay, what were we talking about? In the movie. They were all in the movie. And on that bombshell, I get, you know what, right? I spent an hour and 40 something minutes definitely talking about Paris, Texas. Okay? I'm proud of me. And then we did a Gremlins 2 segue. Who talked about Gremlins? Thank you. Right. There will be a vote in the Discord when I can pull this list together. I don't know about the Shane Black. Like, I'll think of a Kiss Kiss Bang Bang's probably the Shane Black movie. I can't be bothered. Thank you. You know what? I really do enjoy doing these movie streams, and you know, the whole streaming thing, it's just for like, we're doing it for fun. And like I say, if you guys have any movie recommendations, like it's both ways. I did watch Terminator 2. And I think at one point everybody nagged me on stream to watch Team America, and I watched Team America. So like, I do watch your recommendations. And you've watched mine, and yeah, sure, I'm down for that. Is still not happy with me about Ishtar, but Ishtar is a good movie, as is Gremlins too. Anyway, I do, some of them aren't winners, like some of them aren't. Old Boy. I have seen both versions of Old Boy. OG Old Boy. Fucked up movie. Josh Brolin Old Boy. So bad. So bad. Hey MT, how's it going? Are you an old? No, you're not an old boy. You're younger than me. Stop it. Deece? Good. We were just about to raid out. I thought you were streaming, bud. We've just finished, yeah, the remake. Like, what was Spike Lee thinking doing that? But yeah, any recommendations, do let me know. I'm gonna see who's on. Handmaiden, Park Chan-wook, seen Handmaiden. I liked it. I think I went to see it at the cinema, and I think some people walked out. I remember watching it at the cinema thinking, this is fucking great, and people, the tentacles bit freaked people. It's a great movie. Yeah. I'm trying to think, what other ones has Park Chan-wook done that's good? You're distracting me. Yeah, why would you walk out of that? They've just done actually like the if you've watched the Vengeance trilogy, I was just about to say this, like, so it's Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, Old Boy, and Lady Vengeance. So that it's like a combined 3 movie. And they're really good if you watch them all, but there's one of them, I think it's Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, the first one. This guy like gets his ankles like sliced. And today I went to see Running Man, Edgar Wright's Running Man, and I really fucking loved it. But there's a bit where he gets stabbed in the ankle, or the back of the leg, the back of the ankle. And I just immediately thought of that bit in Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, and I was like, why am I thinking of that movie? It really, really freaked me out, because I just like had a flashback to that scene in the movie where he's standing in the road. If anybody gets sliced in the back of the ankle, I have flashbacks to Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance. Yes, I really do need to stop talking. It is right. I'm gonna say this because everybody keeps moaning, going, "The Running Man isn't really an Edgar Wright movie. It's not very good." It's his best fucking movie since Scott Pilgrim. Fight me. It was great. I loved it. It's better than the Arnie Running Man. Said it again. I'm just hot taking it all over the place. It's great. I think it's fun. I really liked it. Please don't take my word for it, because the reviews have been extremely mixed and people are moaning about it, and like I walked out of it thinking, I had a fucking great time. What's wrong with everyone? So like maybe I'm just weird. maybe I'm the weirdo. But I really liked Running Man. So yeah. I'm gonna rate. It's better than Baby Driver, yeah. Although I really like Baby Driver. Although Baby Driver's got Kevin Spacey. Never mind. Yeah. So I'll put the vote up. Will come join the Discord. Throw movie recommendations my way, and I will definitely check them out. Or I'll tell you what I think about anything that you suggest. That if I've seen it, I have like an encyclopedic memory when it comes to movies. So unless it was really not that good, then I do normally remember most things. So I can have a conversation about any movie that you want. And we do Wordle on there. So yeah. I'm gonna raid Mutski because he's playing his favorite game of all time. So that sounds like fun. Thank you so much. Like I say, it's quite weird just sitting talking instead of playing a video game. You just watching me just talking nonstop, and it's a different experience. It feels a bit weird for me, but I do have a lot of fun with it, and I'm really grateful for anybody who comes and sits with me and chats with me. And thank you so much for hanging out. And I don't know, I might do a speed run next time. I don't know. I'll put my schedule on the Discord. So keep in touch and we can hang out, and I'll figure out Christmas movies and just watching me talking nonstop. Yeah, it's always a laugh. I'm glad. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And as I say, when we do watch, we'll do the vote, we'll pick the movie, and then we'll pick a date, and then we'll watch the movie, and we watch it on the Discord channel, and it's a lot of fun, and we all just type in chat and make funny jokes, because we have a lovely watch party. It's a really nice crew. It's always really fun, and I'll keep you well informed. So thank you so much for hanging out. Yeah, just me talking. I mean, when do I ever not just talk constantly? Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your evening. I might see you on the weekend, I might not. But thank you so much for hanging out, and thank you for the bitties. Take care. Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Goodbye.